Well, you may have seen me out, but I would never put myself in a position to get hurt or be caught. I would never hold hands or do anything improper in public. So everything I did personally was private. I made sure of that. I won't send a naked picture, a naked video, anything because it may possibly get out, and I didn't want to take that chance back then. Now, who cares? But
DA Brat sat across from the host, her hands trembling slightly as the cameras rolled. The moment she had been avoiding for months was now here. Judy's public confession on Instagram had shaken her to the core, and now, the world would hear her side of the story. I never thought I'd be here, crying in front of millions, telling the world about what happened, DA Brat began, her voice quivering with emotion. But Judy's betrayal is something I can't hide any longer. The truth needs to come out. She took a shaky breath, preparing herself to share the raw pain she had been carrying for so long. What Judy did, it wasn't just a betrayal. It was the destruction of everything I thought we had. The studio fell silent, as viewers, both in the room and at home, leaned in, awaiting DA Brat's emotional reveal. DA Brat's voice cracked as she spoke about the devastation she felt when she found out about Judy's affair. I always thought we had something that couldn't be broken, something strong and true, DA Brat said, her eyes welling up with tears. I believed in us. I trusted her. But the day I found out the truth about what she had done, it changed everything. She paused for a moment, collecting her emotions before continuing. Judy wasn't just my partner, she was my best friend, my confidant. And to have her betray me in this way, it's like everything I thought I knew about love and trust was a lie. DA Brat wiped away the tears, her voice growing more strained. It wasn't just about the affair itself, it was about the lies. The way she kept this secret from me, the way she pretended everything was okay. And I bought it. Her eyes glistened with the rawness of her emotions as she continued. I never thought she would hurt me like this. I never imagined she could hide something so huge from me. The betrayal went deeper than DA Brat could have ever imagined. When I found out, it wasn't just a relationship breaking apart. It was the destruction of the trust we had built over the years, DA Brat shared, her voice growing cold with anger. I thought Judy was the one person I could trust more than anyone. But this is something I never saw coming. DA Brat's eyes burned with a mix of frustration and sadness as she spoke. The affair was bad enough, but it was the betrayal of trust that hurt the most. She didn't just lie to me, she kept something so massive from me, thinking I wouldn't find out. DA Brat's voice was tight with emotion as she reflected on the damage done. I thought I knew Judy better than anyone else. But this was something I never thought she was capable of. She paused, shaking her head in disbelief. I didn't just lose a partner that day. I lost a part of myself. I trusted her with everything, and she destroyed it. The moment DA Brat discovered the affair was a painful, unforgettable experience. I wasn't looking for it, DA Brat recalled, voice shaking with emotion. But I started noticing things, small things that didn't add up. The late nights, the unexplained phone calls, the way she would act distant, like she was hiding something. DA Brat's face darkened as she continued. And then, one day, I found the proof. I saw the messages, and in that moment, I knew everything had changed. DA Brat's voice quivered as she remembered the sting of that moment. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to see it. But once I did, there was no going back. She paused, looking down at her hands as if trying to gather the strength to keep going. That was the moment everything came crashing down. That was the moment I realized I couldn't trust Judy anymore. When DA Brat confronted Judy about the affair, Judy's response was not what DA Brat had hoped for. At first, Judy denied everything. DA Brat shared, her frustration evident. She said I was overreacting, that I was imagining things. But deep down, I could see the guilt in her eyes. She knew I had the truth. DA Brat shook her head, disbelief still hanging in her voice. She tried to justify it. She tried to explain it away like it was no big deal. But it wasn't just a mistake. It wasn't just something that happened. It was a choice. She chose to betray me, and no amount of words could take that away. DA Brat's voice dropped as she reflected on Judy's attempts to make excuses. She apologized, but it didn't mean anything. I needed the truth, not more lies. I needed her to show me that she understood how deep the hurt was. DA Brat spoke candidly about how Judy's confession shattered their relationship, leaving an emotional wreckage that she couldn't ignore. Once the truth came out, everything changed. DA Brat admitted, her voice filled with sadness and the weight of the realization that their relationship could never be the same again. The affair, while painful, was only the beginning of the emotional unraveling that followed. It wasn't just about the affair, it was about everything that came with it, she explained. The lies, the broken trust, and the emotional distance that grew between them all compounded the hurt, making it impossible for DA Brat to look at Judy the same way. It wasn't just a moment of betrayal, it was a series of actions and emotions that had fractured their connection on every level. The lies, the broken trust, the emotional distance between us. After that, nothing was the same, DA Brat said, her voice thick with the weight of those words. She realized that what they had before the affair was gone, replaced by an irreparable rift that neither of them could overcome. DA Brat paused, struggling to find the right words as she reflected on how her view of Judy had been permanently altered. I couldn't look at her the same way, DA Brat confessed, her eyes distant as she recalled the emotional impact of the affair. It wasn't just the betrayal itself, it was the loss of trust, the feeling that the woman she once loved and trusted had become someone she could no longer recognize. Every time I saw her, all I saw was the woman who lied to me, the woman who betrayed me, DA Brat said, her voice trembling with emotion. The bond they had shared had been built on trust, and once that trust was broken, it felt as though everything that was once real between them had crumbled. DA Brat was left grappling with the painful reality that she could no longer see Judy as the person she had once loved. The woman in front of her was no longer the same. She was now a symbol of betrayal. How do you move forward with someone who has hurt you like that? DA Brat asked, her tone filled with disbelief and hurt. The question lingered in the air, unanswered, as she struggled to understand how their relationship could continue after such a deep wound. She had invested so much emotionally, so much trust, and now it seemed like all of it had been betrayed. Moving forward with Judy wasn't just about forgiveness, it was about repairing a bond that had been shattered, and DA Brat realized that wasn't something they could easily fix. I tried to make it work, but the trust was gone, DA Brat said, shaking her head as she reflected on her efforts to salvage the relationship. It wasn't for lack of trying, but once trust was lost, it was like a thread had been snapped, and no matter how much effort they put in, it couldn't be mended. And once that's gone, there's nothing left, she continued, the finality in her voice clear. No matter how much they tried to move past it, the betrayal was always there, lingering in the background of every conversation, every touch, every look. The emotional connection had been severed, and there was no way to return to the closeness they once had. We couldn't go back to what we had before, DA Brat reflected, her voice barely above a whisper. She had accepted that the relationship was over, not because she hadn't tried, but because the foundation of trust they had built together was gone. It was as if the ground beneath them had crumbled, leaving them with nothing but a fractured version of what they once had. It was over, she said, the words heavy with the pain of finality. The public's response to DA Brat's revelation was immediate, swift, and filled with an outpouring of support. Fans flooded social media with messages of heartbreak and anger over Judy's actions, expressing their sympathy for DA Brat and offering words of encouragement. DA Brat doesn't deserve this, one fan tweeted, their words reflecting the shock and disappointment they felt at the betrayal DA Brat had suffered. She's been through so much, and now this betrayal? It's heartbreaking. The fans' comment captured the collective sorrow that many felt for DA Brat, who had already endured a great deal in her personal life, and now had to face the emotional aftermath of a relationship turned toxic. The betrayal wasn't just a personal issue. It was something that impacted all those who had followed DA Brat's journey and admired her strength. Another fan wrote, DA Brat is so strong for sharing this. She doesn't deserve this kind of pain. The outpouring of support was not just for DA Brat's strength in the face of the betrayal, but for her courage in speaking out about it. DA Brat had always been open and vulnerable with her fans, and in sharing the painful truth of her relationship, she allowed them to connect with her on a deeper level. Fans saw DA Brat not only as a public figure but as a person who was enduring real emotional pain, and they rallied behind her, offering their heartfelt support. Celebrities also chimed in, offering their shock, support, and admiration for DA Brat. DA Brat is a fighter, and she deserves so much better than this. One celebrity tweeted, their words resonating with many who had seen DA Brat overcome challenges in her career and personal life. The betrayal Judy had inflicted upon her was seen as unjust, and many in the public wanted to see DA Brat move on to a future where she was treated with the respect and love she deserved. What Judy did was unforgivable. I stand with DA Brat, another celebrity posted, further reinforcing the idea that DA Brat was not alone in her struggle. The public support was overwhelming, and it showed just how much DA Brat was loved and admired by her fans and peers alike. It's heartwarming to see the love and support I'm getting, DA Brat shared, her voice filled with gratitude. The overwhelming response from her fans and celebrities gave her a sense of comfort and strength during such a painful time. It's been tough, but knowing that people have my back makes it easier, DA Brat said, acknowledging that, even though the emotional journey was difficult, the support from others made it more bearable. In a time of deep personal loss, DA Brat was reminded that she had a strong network of people who cared about her, believed in her, and stood by her side. Despite the heartbreak, DA Brat is determined to move forward and reclaim her happiness. This isn't going to break me, DA Brat shared, her voice firm. I've been through so much, and I know I'll get through this too. It's hard, but I'm not going to let it define me. DA Brat's resilience was clear as she spoke about her plans to heal. I'm going to take time for myself. I'm focusing on what's important, my peace, my happiness, and my future. DA Brat's voice became stronger as she continued. This experience has taught me a lot about myself, and I know I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm going to rise above it. If DA Brat's emotional journey resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about DA Brat's strength in overcoming this heartbreaking betrayal? We'd love to hear from you.